So, have you ever felt nervous while speaking English? Maybe you feel a little shy or nervous, and when you try to speak, you forget the words. I know this happens to me sometimes when I try to speak a second language. So, has that ever happened to you? Have you ever struggled with confidence when using English? So, have you ever felt not very confident when using English? Or have you ever wished you could feel more comfortable using English? So, actually, these are all things that some of our followers on Facebook and YouTube have commented. So, you guys, I hope today I can help you feel a little bit better about using English. So, let's learn how to be more confident with English. Okay, you guys ready? So, we're going to talk about three things today: having a plan, something called fake it till you make it. We'll talk about that. And something called self-compassion. So don't worry, we will talk about all of these words and what they mean. So here is a three-step plan to be more confident using English. Step number one, have a plan. So, do you have a study plan right now? What is a plan? You need to choose what and when you will study. So, do you have that? Do you know exactly what you study and exactly when you study it? Do you have a plan? Or is it just random and whenever you feel like it? So, you need to choose what and when you will study. So this means you need methods, which are what, and a schedule, which is when. So let's talk about these things. So step one of having a plan is you need methods or ways to study. So a method is what you do, right? This is the thing that you do to study. It is very important. This is something I talk about a lot. Your methods should be enjoyable. So, this means you should like the methods you choose. So, if you like to study English, maybe you love to study vocabulary. Well, that's a method you like. Maybe you like to use flashcards when you study. Well, then do that because you like it, you enjoy it. If you don't like to do that, that's okay. You don't have to study that way. You can study any way that you enjoy, but extremely, very, very, very important that your methods are enjoyable. So, how can we do this? Maybe you're thinking, "Oh, what does that mean? How can I like studying?" Well, an easy thing is to think of what you already like and add English to it. So, for example, maybe you love watching YouTube. Well, then watch YouTube videos about topics you like in English. Maybe you love to watch videos about food. I do. I like cooking videos. So, how can I make this about language study? Well, I can watch YouTube videos about cooking in the language I'm trying to learn. So, if I want to learn English, well, I can watch cooking videos in English. Or maybe you like sports. Okay, watch some sports in English. You can do this on YouTube. You can do this in many places online. So, watch things. If you like YouTube, watch YouTube videos about topics you like in English. Maybe you love listening to music. Well, then a great, enjoyable method for you to study would be to learn about and explore English music and use that to study. Study the music and read the lyrics or the words to the song and study the words. Music and lyrics, which are again the words in a song, are a great way to study. So if you love music, that could be an enjoyable method for you. Or maybe, like so many people, you love playing video games. Well, play your game, if it's an online game or a game you can play with other people, then play on an American or British or Australian server and chat with the players in English. This is a really nice way because you don't have to show your face, right? You can just type and practice. And you can learn a lot of English slang and see how conversations work with many people. So make sure to have methods. This is very important. But what's also important is having a schedule. A schedule is when, right? It is impossible or not possible. You can't do it. You can't learn a skill like language without committing regular time to it. So this means uh, maybe every day or once a week or whatever works for you. Make sure your schedule is doable, which means can do it, and enjoyable, which means can enjoy. So make sure you can do your schedule and you can enjoy. Did you notice? Here again, enjoyable. The best way to learn is to find a way that you enjoy learning. Whether it's learning how to ski, ride a bike, or speak English, it is best to and uh, will help you if you enjoy it. So also make sure your schedule is specific. So this means don't just say, I'll study once a week. Okay, well, we're getting started on a specific schedule, but for example, instead of saying once a week, say and commit or always do it, I will study every Tuesday morning for 10 minutes. Or I will study 3 days a week for 15 minutes on my way to school or on my way to work. So maybe I choose Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? On my way to work, I will study however I want to. Maybe that means listening to an English podcast, but that you have methods and a schedule. This is the best way to learn, okay? So step one for being more confident, have a plan. When you are doing something and sticking to your schedule and being regular, always studying in a way you enjoy at the same times, it will help you feel more confident, right? And less, what should I do, right? So have a plan, have a schedule. Okay, step number 2 is called fake it till you make it. So this is an English idiom. We talk about idioms a lot on our channel. This is an English idiom that means to pretend you're good at something until you are. So to fake it means to pretend, right? And then make it means you can do it. So fake it till you make it. We use this idiom pretty often in English, especially when maybe I am starting a new job, for example, and I don't feel very confident. Well, I will just pretend to be confident until I am. And we can do that with English as well. Pretend you are confident using English, and eventually, maybe even in a few minutes, if you are pretending to be confident, or maybe it takes some time, you will really feel more confident and comfortable. So does this sound crazy? Maybe it does, but I promise it really works. So What does it mean to pretend you're confident? How do we pretend to be confident using English? Well, what do confident people look and what do confident people sound like? Well, confident people have good posture, good volume, and humor, right? We can laugh at ourselves if we feel confident. So let's talk about each of these. First, good posture. So confident someone who is confident has good posture. Part of this means sitting up straight like I'm doing. So if you are using English, make sure to stand or sit up straight. It helps you, really does help you feel more confident. Make sure you don't start shrinking, right? And doing this. We do this when we feel nervous, right? So make sure to sit up straight, and it really does help you feel a little more confident. Another part of good posture is don't do something called fidgeting. So for example, let's say I am let's say I'm holding a pencil and I'm using English and maybe I feel a little nervous. So this is fidgeting, right? Or maybe I'm doing something like this. Don't fidget. Make sure to be aware of the things you do when you feel nervous. And to help yourself feel more confident, make sure to don't do those things, right? So sit up straight and don't fidget. I notice when I'm nervous, if I'm wearing a ring, I play with my ring. So I have to not do that because it helps me feel more confident and also other people see me as more confident. Another part of posture or just our body language is keeping eye contact. If this is difficult for you, or maybe in your culture, it's not as normal to always keep eye contact when someone is talking, that's okay. Just make sure that you're not looking away because you're feeling nervous or shy. Okay, so step one of fake it till you make it, good posture. Next is good volume. So this means speak at a normal conversational volume. One thing that we do when we feel like we don't know exactly how to say something in English is maybe we start mumbling, right? We talk a little quieter because we're not really sure, is this how I say it? I don't know. So maybe you start speaking quietly. So make sure to speak at a normal conversational volume. And again, maybe you have to force yourself to do it. Maybe you feel uncomfortable speaking loudly, or you feel uncomfortable sitting up straight, not fidgeting, and keeping eye contact, but it's okay. You will feel a little uncomfortable at first, but soon it will feel normal and you will feel more confident. And last, and this is very important, is humor. So, humor is, we often say someone has a good humor. This means that they laugh a lot or make other people laugh, right? If you have good humor. So part of fake it till you make it is humor. Don't be too serious. Laugh at your mistakes. Every person alive makes mistakes. I make mistakes, you make mistakes, that person over there makes mistakes, they make mistakes, everyone makes mistakes, right? So it's okay if you are trying to sit up straight and speak clearly and loudly and you make a mistake, just laugh, oh, haha, and continue. It's okay to make mistakes. Don't be too serious or too hard on yourself because this is just part of learning, right? We always make mistakes. And another thing that you can do if you really feel like you're making big mistakes and you are talking to a native speaker, just joke about your language level. Oh, I have so much to learn with English. Haha. You'll be surprised at the feedback that you get. And what do I mean by this? most people appreciate that you are trying to speak to them in English or in their native language, right? So it's okay. You don't have to be perfect. So just try to have some humor about it. It's very important to be able to laugh at yourself. You guys see me laugh at myself on the live streams when I make mistakes. Haha, whoops, and continue, right? So, like this. So, remember good posture, good volume, and humor. Okay, our last step today for being more is something called self compassion. Okay, so what does this term mean? Well, self is you, or for me, myself is me, yourself is you. And then let's talk about the word compassion. Compassion is the feeling you get when you see another person suffering and you want to stop that suffering. So, what is suffering? This is when someone is hurt or hurting, right? So maybe you see a child fall and cut their knee and you feel, "Oh, I want to help. I want to help that person. Oh, you poor thing. I want to help you." That is compassion. So when we see another person hurt, we want to help them and help them to stop being hurt, right? So, how do we have compassion for others? What do we do? What is compassion? Compassion could be your friend had a bad day and you just try to make them feel better. Oh, don't worry about it. You are so smart. You're so great. You can do it. Tomorrow will be better, right? Don't worry. So we might talk to people to try to make them feel better, right? Give compliments. This is compassion. We might do something to help them. Maybe I see that my my mom, my parents are so busy, so I have compassion, right? I feel, oh, it's so difficult for you. So I might do something like cook them dinner. This is compassion. So a good way to think about compassion with language is ask yourself this question. What would you tell your best friend if they were feeling bad about their language ability? Maybe my best friend is trying to learn English too. And she tells me, "Oh, I made so many mistakes today and I just feel so bad." Well, what would I say to my best friend? What would you say to your best friend? Well, I think most of us would say, "Hey, don't worry. You're doing a good job. Learning a language is hard. You're doing great. Maybe try to do this next time," right? So, what would you tell your best friend if they are having that struggle? Now, tell that to yourself. So, if I would tell my friend, "Hey, you're doing a good job. Learning a language is hard. Try this next time." Well, now I'm just going to tell that to myself when I feel that way. Hey, I'm doing a good job. It's hard to learn a language, and I'm going to try this other thing next time. And then maybe not feel so bad about it, right? Compassion also means patience and forgiveness. So, patience means okay to wait. So it takes a lot of time to learn how to speak a language, especially something like English, which is a difficult language. It has so many influences from other languages, and it's an old language, and it has so many crazy rules and things that it's supposed to be a rule, but it doesn't work. So be patient with yourself. It takes time, and it's okay that it takes time. And forgiveness means to not stay angry or unhappy about another person's actions. So it's important to forgive yourself if you make mistakes. Don't feel angry or upset or bad because you're making language mistakes. Just forgive yourself. Oh, it's okay, right? Have patience. It takes time. And forgiveness, it's okay that I make mistakes, right? Just keep trying. If you can't do that, it will be very hard to learn because if you're always saying, no, I should have been perfect, I did this wrong, I did that wrong. No, no. Make sure to have self compassion, patience, forgiveness, and be kind to yourself too. So, with practicing self compassion, remember, often when you're afraid of what others will think of you, you're putting your worries into their mind. So if you are afraid that of speaking to a native English speaker because you'll make mistakes and you're worried that they will think a bad thing about you, usually that means you feel bad about you. So you think the other person is will as well. But that's often not the case. This is most often not the case. So most people are understanding and forgiving and appreciate you trying and know that it's hard to learn another language. So uh, don't put your worry into someone else's mind. Okay, so remember, most people will be understanding and will not think bad things about you. Okay, so remember our 3 steps to having confidence with English. Step 1, have a plan. Have enjoyable methods and an enjoyable schedule so you can practice regularly in a way that you enjoy. Even just sticking to a study schedule can help you feel more confident because you're doing something and learning a little bit. Step 2, fake it till you make it. Pretend to be confident until you are. Have good posture, good volume, and humor. Make sure you can laugh at yourself. And step 3, have self compassion. So don't be angry at yourself when you make mistakes. Be kind, be patient, and be forgiving. And remember, most other people are kind, patient, and forgiving too.